Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Just Good Games. So obviously it's very hard to miss if you're a gamer. The big PlayStation 5 reveal event happened this Friday, and I did try to do a live stream / reactions, but the stream wasn't too good, the footage wasn't the greatest. So what I've decided to do is just play the trailers, which I thought were absolutely amazing, and talk you through my thoughts and break them down. But before we crack into it, obviously with the big reveal as you can see here, I'd just like you to go down there and hit that subscribe button, hit like and share this video. We're closing in on 500. Please help us out there. So I'm starting with the end, the big reveal of the PlayStation 5 console. I honestly, in the back of my mind, I did think this was coming, but they just sort of weren't. They played their cards close to their chest with this. We didn't know if the actual physical console would be revealed at the end, but after Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or Horizon Forbidden West was revealed, they came in with this and they came in hard, and to be honest, they sort of had to show the physical version of it, as the Xbox, we've known about the Xbox for a while now. What I will say is I absolutely love the design of it. Look at that beast, look at that console, it looks amazing. It's meant to be massive as well, and I like that they changed it up a bit, because between the PlayStation 2, 3 and 4 there's not been a mega amount of change. They've all been black, they've all been sort of very square. Obviously the PlayStation 3 was a bit curved, but I just like I like it. And I know people always take the piss out of anything which is new to start off with. I've seen the memes with Cell having it on his head, like is his head bit, and it's hilarious. But to me, this console looks really good. I'm expecting this version to probably come in at 550. I don't think it'll be 600. And then that all digital version which they announced, I reckon that'll be around 4 to 450. But don't hold me to that. I have no insider information. This is just guesswork. Then they obviously showed off like the bundles which were gonna, like what's probably gonna be bundled in with it. If you get like the headset, the media remote and the charging station with all of it, which is maybe why the price might be so high, then I think it'll be worth it. It almost reminds me of the 360's like initial package. There was a lot to it. Again, if this is gonna be the main package, but just look at it. I love it. I love the design. I love how different it is, and you probably will be able to get it in different colours in the future anyway. So if anyone's ragging on the white, I don't understand that, but I love that it's got a charging station. That's cool. Hopefully it'll be like a wireless charging station, but the headset looks cool. The remote looks like, to be honest, it looks like an Amazon remote, but it looks amazing. I can't wait for it. The PlayStation 5, look at it, beautiful console. So after the sort of lackluster Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 reveal, we got into the big guns. And when it flashed up with Insomniac with that web, you just knew, here we go, Spiderman, the big guns are coming, here comes Spiderman 2. But they surprised us and gave us Spider-Man Miles Morales, which looks absolutely fantastic. And I think this is really cool, as it will like allow people who don't know about Miles Morales, and I don't know how you can't know about him if you haven't seen, like everyone should see Into the Spider-Verse, because it's a fantastic film and that will clue you in on Miles. But this game looks superb. You have his electric powers, you have his invisibility powers. It looks like it's in the same sandbox as the first game, but with a sort of wintry Christmas vibe on it. And obviously it will look fantastic, and I can't wait. And one of the other shocks is it's coming out this year. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that they managed to get this game out in time. This must have been in development for a little while, but I just can't wait for this. It's a great sort of spin-off / expansion to the Spider-Man world, and will set up Spider-Man 2 nicely. Oh, can't wait for Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I think it might come out on PlayStation 4 as well, but don't hold me to that. So again, they came in hard again next with another ridiculously awesome exclusive, a franchise which I absolutely love, and that is the Ratchet and Clank franchise. Rift Apart, this looks amazing, and is, even though obviously the Miles Morales trailer was really good and it was a really shocking reveal, this really started to show what this console might be capable of. That it's a really clever marketing or sort of like technological leap with the whole dimensions thing, because one of the big selling points of these new consoles is the solid state drive, and the fact that loading times are going to be so small that you can transfer between levels really quickly, or there will be very little to no loading times. So the fact that you've got loads of dimensions, meaning you're almost like swapping level and swapping through big locations on a whim, is absolutely massive and shows off just the power of this new console. Just look at it. It looks amazing, and Ratchet and Clank is such a great way to show it off. I can't wait for this. It looks like it's like proper. There's a lot of platforming games coming out. This almost seems like a nice return to the old school platforming ways. Obviously Ratchet and Clank, you do have guns because that's one of the big draws of it. All the weird and wonderful toys, gadgets and guns that Ratchet and Clank have to play with. And I don't know how much of this is going to be proper gameplay, but what I do know is it looks great. And obviously the reveal at the end with the female Lombax was absolutely awesome as well. We don't know, is it an alternative version of Ratchet? Is this a future where Ratchet has been killed or something, or is it just like, yeah, an alternative reality? So good. Looking forward to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Great way to start off the conference. So here we come with it. This was a quick one. Obviously Square Enix, so you know this is going to be good. Project Athia. It's a teaser, and that's apparently not the final name of this. So what I hope is this is a game which just doesn't turn out to end up being like a tech demo which was shown off. It's like one of those games which you think is going to come out, but it just never happens, because this looks really good. But we only got to see a little bit of it. To start off with, for some reason, I thought this was going to be some Tomb Raider. But just look at all this, like it's almost like fantasy sort of powers. It's just hope. It looks like maybe, I don't know if it looks open world. Maybe it's a bit like, sort of, it reminds me a bit of like the aesthetic of the Plague's Tale, Innocence, in the whole style of it. So maybe it's that linear experience with a bit of exploration, but it just looks fantastic. And I hope that this actually does come out, because this looks amazing. See, working title, not even a date yet, so hopefully. Right, so just another quick one which doesn't have much gameplay footage, but one which is like, it's sort of, I have a soft spot for this because obviously it looks like you're going to play as a cat, and I have 2 cats, and there's not really been many games where you play as cats, so this will be really interesting. It looks like a post, obviously RIP Humans, looks like it's in a post-human world which is ruled by robots, and you play as a cat. Playing as a cat doing what? I don't know. Like, I thought there was going to be some grand reveal of a character or something, but as this trailer went on, I was like, oh my god, you're going to play as the cat, you're going to play as the cat. Not much gameplay here, not much to go on, but I like the aesthetics, I like the light, I like the neon world, the post-human neon. I wouldn't say apocalyptic, because obviously there is a thriving society of robots here. What does this cat do? It has something on its back. Are cats like delivery? Like, are they delivery guys? Is this going to be Death Stranding with cats? We don't know, but I really like the look of this, even though there's not much going to it. Will it be massive? It looks like it will just be a little indie title, really. Maybe even, it looks like it should be open world, but maybe it might even be like a 2D side scroller type thing. And look at that. I was like, oh my god, you play as a cat. This is going to be great. Stray. Maybe you have to like rescue other cats. We don't know. But again, this was a little one, but I had to include it because I like the look of it. 2021. So next up we have what looks to be a great new IP from PlayStation. Oh, this one took me by surprise, as obviously if you played the Outer Wilds, I think like time loop gaming is going, there's going to be a new, like this new genre of sort of time travel, time loop gaming is going to really take off soon. You can tell there's a lot of people like going for this. Obviously that Deathloop as well, which was announced, which I'm not covering, but looks great. She's got David Bowie eyes, she's got different coloured eyes, which is cool. This again took me by surprise, and I'm really looking forward to this as well. The gameplay looks fantastic, it looks dark, it looks great, it looks like a great concept. Loads of female protagonists as well. I didn't really see obviously a lot of male protagonists. It's good to see a bit of diversity in the people you play as, that's always nice. But look at that, look at these worlds, look at the power of this console. I can't wait for this. There's a mystery to this, and I like games which have a good mystery. I'm hoping this is as good as I want it to be. Again, timely. I like things with time travel in. I like things which are clever. So hopefully this is clever. It's got a bit of Prey about it. It's got that mystery of, you know, oh, we're in this place. There's this mystery sort of force or aliens or something. And just look at that. Look at this gameplay, and we got gameplay, which is always good. A lot of the trailers, you only got a bit of CG, but this looks like proper gameplay. And again, I can't wait for this game. Hopefully this is a launch game. I'm going to wait because I can't remember what date they put at the end, or even if they put a date at the end. But from looking at the footage, this has to be soon. But great mystery. Again, David Bowie eyes, which is always helpful. Returnal, the great mash two words together. Return and Eternal. We're going to stick them together. No date, so we're not sure, but PlayStation exclusive, which is always good. Next up, a game which I really like the look of. To be honest, I like the look of all these games. I've not included games which I'm not really interested in. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo 7 is one of them games. I'm just not a fan of racing games. This looks really cool. It's got, for some reason, for me, it's got a bit of an Ori vibe. Obviously, that's an Xbox exclusive, and also for some reason reminds me a bit of Camino Elements of Power, which again was an Xbox exclusive back when the 360 launched. It just looks cool, and I know people are like complaining about, oh, there's a lot of like kiddie looking platforming games, but these games, you need these games. They can't all be shooters, they can't all be heavy story driven narratives, and this looks like it's got a bit of darkness to it as well. And this will be like a story driven narrative, but maybe a bit lighter. But again, this looks like magic. It looks a bit linear with those like open world bits. I'm looking forward to this. It looks cool. Now we get into some gameplay, which looks fantastic. Jumping around. Again, it looks a bit linear, but almost like Uncharted style. Obviously, you're going to have like this management of these little things, which will help you do tasks and solve puzzles. That is obviously some like sort of Eagle Vision styly stuff, and this world looks fantastic. And hopefully the combat's good, and the combat looks a bit Horizon-y. It looks like you've got like your stick, you've got your bow, you've got big things which you have to take down, you've got obviously a bit of magic there, putting combos together. Yeah, it looks a bit like Horizon combat crossed with Dark Souls, although just because you roll doesn't mean it's Dark Souls style combat. Now, Kenna, the Bridge of Spirits looks very good. Right, so this next one, Oddworld Soulstorm, is probably the game which got the biggest reaction from me. The first two on PlayStation 1 are absolute classics, and I can't believe they're actually doing another Oddworld game. Obviously, everyone who bought Oddworld New and Tasty, like, which obviously probably funded this, is like, I can't even speak because of how awesome this is going to look. The continuation of Abe's story. And I like that they're still keeping that 2D style of gameplay. Obviously, it will be updated. It will be quite new. But it still looks like it's keeping its old school style. And it looks like the humor's still there. And because of the power of the hardware, you are probably going to have tons and tons of Madunkans on the screen at the same time. I can't wait. Look at this gameplay, the explosions, the physics. Just when I was playing Oddworld on PlayStation 1, I never imagined that like I'm saying, like nearly 20 years, 15 to 20 years later, that we would still be continuing Abe's awesome story. But this just looks amazing. As I said, this is probably the one which got the biggest reaction to me. The ones which are coming up are obviously like mega games, but this one is very close to my heart, and it looks like he's going to take off the thing, like his stitches, his crosses, and be able to speak properly. Oddworld Soulstorm, such a good surprise, such a fantastic surprise. I can't wait for this game. There was strong rumours about this one before. It probably have been in the pipeline for an ages. Bluepoint obviously made the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, but they're remaking, I assume from the ground up, Demon Souls, and this is the only Souls game which I haven't played, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and die all over again. Well, not all over again, but you know what I mean. I haven't played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne and Sekiro. I need some more From Software in my life. Even though Sekiro was only last year, it feels like a while since I've played a Souls game. I've played Souls-esque games, but nothing measures up to a proper Souls game. And just look at it, proper monsters, proper obviously demons. Oh, I can't wait for this. We're going to be rolling a lot. We're going to be dying a lot. Demon Souls. And this is one of the ones which did get me out my seat a bit. I can't wait. Will they add more bosses? The question is now, is it going to be a 1-for-1 remake? Or are they going to add newer bosses? Obviously keep all the old stuff, but are we going to get is it going to be expanded a bit? Or are we going to get a proper 1-for-1 remake? So you could maybe you get bigger bosses. This is going to be cool. Demon Souls remake. Obviously no gaming footage yet, but at least we know it's coming. This was one of the biggest surprises for me. I heard this had been rumoured. There has been rumours of Resident Evil 8 for a long time, but I honestly didn't think they'd show it at this event. I'm so glad they have. Over the past 2 to 3, or ever since 7 really came out, there's just been such a Resident Evil renaissance, and with Remake 2 being amazing, obviously 7 was really good, the remake of 3 was okay to good. Resident Evil 8 is looking fantastic. It looks like it's going to be continuing Ethan's story. It looks like it's still going to be in the first person style that number 7 was. And obviously Chris Redfield has been drastically redesigned. It looks like I think this is a bit of a swerve in the trailer. I don't think he's going to be the villain of it, but you never know. This also gives off a vibe of a mix, because it's obviously Resident Evil 8's village. It looks like a cross between 7 and 4. 2 are the best ones. So 7 and 4, like in obviously the village aesthetic of number 4, mixed with the first person style and the sort of jump scare, like the return to the horror of number 7. That like villain at the end looks like they're trying to do a new Jack Baker. They probably know what works, because the first, obviously Resident Evil 7 was amazing, but the first like 3 to 4 hours of that game is probably the best bit of the game, when you have Jack stalking you all through the house. Also, it looks like we're going to get a bit of a maybe throwback to number 1, as it looks like in a bit you see those ladies in a Spencer style mansion. So it's like 7 crossed with 4 with a bit of 1 thrown in there for good measure. All these like little like sort of things like which are flicking up, they look like there's going to be a lot of puzzles in it, like statues which you can twist and turn. Here we go, look, Spencer Mansion-esque stuff. Loads of cool bosses. The guy in the glasses is definitely the new Jack Baker. Can't wait for this. And looks like we're going to have some sort of first time in this, I don't know if it's the first time in the series, werewolves. This looks good. It has a bit of a Dracula vampire sort of thing going to it. Can't wait for this. As Resident Evil over the past couple of years has become one of my absolute favourite series. They've been knocking it out of the park recently. And here is Chris. Redesigned Chris Redfield, looking like he's going to be the villain, but he probably won't be. And finally, we end with probably the biggest game, the biggest reveal. We all knew this was going to be coming at some point, but we didn't know whether it would have been announced today. Obviously, they had so many big franchises, which they will probably have games on for the PlayStation 5, but they decided to leave it at the end, the big one, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. I can't wait. Like, for Horizon Zero Dawn is easily one of the best games on PlayStation 4, easily. Probably it's been overshadowed a bit because God of War obviously came out like a couple years after it, and everyone holds that really high up, and obviously Spiderman. But for me, this is definitely top 5 PlayStation exclusives, and I can't wait to continue Aloy's story with all these new, weird and wonderful machine animals to take down. The world is obviously going to be bigger. We don't get any, I wouldn't say we get proper gameplay in this. This is, maybe we do, maybe this is going to be this powerful, but it's a lot of CG. But as soon as Aloy came on the screen, you're like, ah, even though you know if it says Guerrilla Games, we know what we're getting. Obviously, there was like a post-credit reveal. Spoilers for Horizon Zero Dawn if you ain't played it already, but obviously you get a sort of post-credit thing in Horizon Zero Dawn to say that the villain has not properly been defeated yet. So this is obviously a continuation. Maybe the villain's moved obviously further west, and maybe we have to discover his origins. Look at that. Obviously, we're getting underwater. I don't think you could go properly underwater in Horizon Zero Dawn, so this is good. Massive crocodile robot. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. This will be like the first killer game for the place. Like, all the games which are coming out at launch looks great. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, but this is the biggie. This is the big one, which will, when this comes out, I think everyone will be like, look at that dragon. This will be like, when this comes out, be the one, we have arrived. We have arrived at the next gen. This is going to push it. It's going to be like Bloodborne was for PlayStation 4. It's going to be the one which signals, okay, everyone who hasn't got a next generation console, go out and get it now. Go out, because you're missing out on this fantastic experience. Here he is. He's the sort of, he's not the exact villain, but there was that post reveal of him. I can't even think of the villain's name, but there we go. Look at it. Corrupting the machines. And this just looks like it's going to be, look at that, it just looks like it's going to be absolutely top draw. Cannot wait. Can't wait. And it was such a good event. I really think it has lived up to the, it's living up to the hype. Hopefully we'll get a price soon. Ah, the mammoth machines, look at that. Hopefully this is like going to be those battles where you scale it and like take it down bit by bit. Cannot wait for this. Such a great event, such a good reveal. Unfortunately my stream didn't hold up, so that's why we've got no proper reactions. So there you have it. Thank you for watching this. Obviously it was a bit loose because I'm just talking through the trailers as I see them again. But thank you for making it to the end again. All I need you to do now is hit that subscribe, hit like, share, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Obviously, like, just look at all the PlayStation 5 stuff. There was loads of other trailers, but they're just the ones I picked. And once again, you have been watching Just Good Games.